For as long as I can remember, I've always had a relationship with God. I remember being 11 years old and walking along the beach by myself and looking at His creation and just being so in awe of who He was and just feeling a sense that He was with me and He loved me. I grew up in South Africa in a Christian family, and we were taught Christian principles growing up. We went to church together as a family. But turning 19 years old and going to university, I started to think differently and I started to think critically. Was I a Christian because of my backgrounds and because it was what I was expected to do? Or was I a Christian because I had decided to make this my own? And so I went on a bit of a journey and I decided to really question God's existence. And at the end of my journey, I came to the conclusion that God existed and that I wanted to follow Jesus. I'd had a lot of spiritual encounters in my life, but one that really sticks out. When I was about 16 years old, a bunch of friends and I decided to put on a CD and to lie on the floor facing upwards and just spend some time with God. And I was lying there, and all of a sudden, I just felt God just kind of come down on me, and I just felt His presence so thickly. And I was lying with my eyes closed, and I just felt His love surround me, just felt an incredible sense of His joy and His peace at the same time. At that moment, I just knew that He loved me very deeply. When I was 19 years old, I met my future husband, and we both had a sense on our hearts that God was calling us to the UK, which was very, very difficult for me because I always wanted to live my life in South Africa. It was where I thought I'd always end up being. We decided to move to Belgium, first of all. It was probably the darkest, most difficult time of my life. It was cold, it was dark, and it was lonely. And I remember at one stage we had like a few euros left in our bank account, and I remember saying to God, please help us. And the next day money came through. And it's like throughout my journey with God, He's always provided for me, but always at the last minute. I was a girl with really big dreams for my life. Even though I was incredibly insecure, I had these big dreams of performing in front of crowds one day. And so I took a risk in Belgium. After a few months, I got signed by a record label. And I remember thinking, this is it. This is my dreams coming true. It was just the most fantastic experience for me. Throughout my younger years, I'd been practicing music religiously. And I was the only Christian in Belgium to be signed with a record label. And for me, I just felt it was the greatest experience that I was given to be able to use my skill for the glory of God. And I was just having the time of my life. But after a few months, my husband got a phone call to say that they were dropping me. I remember feeling confused and really sad. I didn't really know what to do with my life. But looking back, that experience was really good for me because I think I'd based a lot of my self-worth on who I was as a musician, how good I was, adoration from people. And God took that away for a reason, so that I could truly trust in Him 100%, and I couldn't trust in myself anymore. Today, He has given me a lot of self-confidence. I feel really secure in who I am, and I do feel that I matter. And that's only because I've realized who I am in Him and just what He's done for me and how that translates to my life. And after that experience, we decided to move to the UK. We decided to go where God had originally called us. And here we are at Ferrum Community Church. I really just adore going to. It's been wonderful. We are living away from both our families. But I feel really supported here, really loved. I love using my gifts and my talents. I'm a worship leader in the church, and I feel like I'm growing in different areas of my life.